Good morning. Good morning. And good morning. Yes, there is a better way. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to all those who are joining us online today. We are honored that you have joined us today. And I want to give a special thanks to the collective community that makes today possible. And I am thrilled to be here with all of you. For those of you who don't know me, which there are probably many, I am Yvette McDonald. I am the ministerial intern here at Wellsprings and also the ministerial intern and congregational life coordinator over at Mainline Unitarian Church. I am a spiritual companion ritualist. I am an interfaith chaplain and a UU aspirant. I am a curandera, a root woman, a sage, a seer, wise woman, and in many places, I need no name at all. My roots are in the Baptist African American tradition, and my branches spread wide for the many ways of knowing and understanding that exist in the world. And today I invite you on a journey with me, with my Baptist roots in mind. And if I say something that stirs you, that makes your spirit feel good, right? You feel moved, I invite you to verbally say, Amen. Amen. All right. You can say Ashe, you can say Slay Queen, you can say Go Bird, say something. Say something so that I know that we are engaged and we are in this relationship today together.
Amen.
All right. Our message theme for this fall is known by name. And I want to introduce myself and invite some meaningful connection through storytelling. Stories, whether they are personal or collective, they serve as touchstones in times of uncertainty, and they sustain us. They allow us to bear witness to each other's stories as a sacred act, an act that is understood and helps us to connect to one another on a deeper level. Through sharing and listening, we are able to foster compassion and recognize the common thread of humanity that binds us all together. Today, I want to share my own personal story with you about planting seeds and getting into good trouble. And so, when I say planting seeds, let me just explain a little bit. I speak truth into existence. I am a seed planter, and my life's work and job is to plant seeds of social justice, change, and to get into good trouble. This job that I have, see, it's not a job that somebody can hire me for, right? It's not a job that I can be fired from either. This is a job that was ordained and written in the stars long before I even arrived to this physical place called Earth. All right. See, this job my ancestors bestowed upon me. This job that I have is because of all those who came before me. My ancestors, they made it through the Middle Passage. They were the ones who were enslaved, they were freed, they endured Jim Crow. They are the ones who desegregated places, the ones who never stopped fighting. And I am only here today because I am sitting underneath the shade of a tree that somebody else planted with their hard work. I am the actualization of my ancestors' dreams of hope and liberation. And by planting my own seeds, I have this responsibility to carry on the legacy of hope and liberation for generations to come.
Amen.
So I'm just going to let that sit for just a moment. Let's just breathe that in. I stand before you today because I am the embodiment of my ancestors' dreams of hope and liberation. And by planting my own seeds, I continue this legacy of hope and liberation for all future generations. So that's part of my Baptist roots, right? We repeat things over and over again so they sink in and help us feel the Spirit within. So now that I've shared with you what it means to be a seed planter, let me just tell you a little bit about where I heard this word about getting into good trouble. It was when I watched the John Lewis movie, Good Trouble, a 2020 documentary film about the life of civil rights activist, the late Congressman John Lewis. The late Congressman said, I got into good trouble, necessary trouble. As he often spoke about his experiences with racism in this country. I consider the late Congressman John Lewis a seed planter. He was out there planting seeds with many during the civil rights movement. He was out there planting seeds when he was marching over that bridge from Selma to Montgomery. He was planting those seeds when he was being brutally beaten by the police officers on Bloody Sunday. He was planting those seeds when he was jailed and hospitalized. He was planting those seeds when he was up in Congress making change. The late Congressman Lewis said, when you see something that is not right, that is not fair, that is not just, say something.
Amen.
Do something. Get into good trouble. Good trouble, necessary trouble. So let me tell you, getting into good trouble is what I do best. As I said earlier, it is a job that I cannot be hired for nor fired from. One of my earliest memories of getting into good trouble is watching my mother plant seeds and get into her own good trouble. So I want you to picture this. It's about 1983. It was a long time ago. The United States Congress had passed legislation designating Martin Luther King Jr. Day as a federal holiday. But it wasn't until 1986 that the first nationwide observance took place. And if I'm remembering correctly, I was about 9 years old or so in the 4th grade. And the school district that I went to, where I lived, did not recognize this holiday, even after it became a federal holiday in 1986. That school district was right here in Pennsylvania. And every year, for at least 4 years or so, my mother kept me home from school. And we would watch PBS shows and specials and movies about important figures in Black history, which is American history. I learned about people that I would have never learned about in the school. I especially remember a PBS series called Eyes on the Prize. And this was a 14-part documentary series, right? It was very long, that shared stories of many individuals and their experiences with the civil rights movement. And year after year, the day after MLK Day, my mother would send a note to school explaining why she had kept me home. And for 4 years, she wrote letters, and my absences were never excused. Not only did my mother plant seeds of change for me, she planted seeds of change for future generations as well. She modeled what hope and liberation looked like in the face of adversity. And I was kind of like her co-conspirator of sorts back then, even though I really didn't fully grasp at the time the seeds my mother was planting. I started to have a better understanding of why it was so important for me to say something when I saw something that was not right. So we're going to go forward in time. I was in my senior year in high school. And by that time, I had gotten myself into so much good trouble. And I think it was about 1993. And I saw something that I felt wasn't quite right at my predominantly white high school. See, The Color Purple book, you know, The Color Purple by American author Alice Walker, was a hot topic within the school district. And the honors English class was reading that book. Well, we were supposed to read the book. And there was a lot of questions and stirring and conversation about having the book removed and having it banned. Sound familiar? And at the same time that conversation was taking place, our class was reading what many at the time and even today considered a classic, Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. So we had to read Huckleberry Finn out loud in English class. And the N-word was written out fully and completely 219 times. Right? I'm going to say that again. The N-word was written out completely and fully 219 times. Our teacher provided no context of the word and even encouraged us to use the N-word fully and completely as we had to read the book out loud. Day after day, I heard the N-word fully and completely roll off the tongue of my classmates. I heard the N-word roll off the tongue of my teacher. No one was moved. No one was moved to question the book. No one was moved to question that we should have a discussion about not having a culturally responsive curriculum. My 17-year-old self, yeah, I can put it up there now. My 17-year-old self knew that some people in the school and the community wanted the Color Purple book banned, not only because of what they deemed controversial, but because of what and who the author represented. It was the intersectionality of queerness, blackness, and Afrofuturism. I also knew that hearing the N-word repeatedly from my teacher and classmates was not only wrong, but it was also a blatant act of racism. And just like John Lewis said, when you see something that is not right, that is not fair, that is not just, say something, do something, get into good trouble, good necessary trouble. So I did what I did best at the time. I initiated a protest with my mother, and so we did this. Now, this is like 1993, right? So we did this without the convenience of Facebook. There was no X or Twitter at the time, Instagram or Threads. There was no text messaging. So we had to share this message and rally supporters the old school way, through word of mouth and landline. This is telephone. Telephone, right? And so my mother contacted the president of the local NAACP chapter, and we reached out to local news stations. And we called on supporters to bring their voices, to create signs, and to wear the color purple, to show that we were united against the proposed ban of the color purple. The news came. And that is me wearing my purple. This happened at Saracen High School, not too far away from here. With at least 150 people in attendance, I took to the microphone that night to speak out against the ban and draw attention to the 219 instances the N-word in Huckleberry Finn. suggesting that perhaps we should be having a different kind of conversation. That is me getting up, going towards the microphone. I'll sidetrack really quick. I'm going to be 51 soon. My mother kept everything for me. And about 5 years ago, she handed me these boxes. And I had no idea, and this was in there. So, the president of the NAACP and many others joined us, passionately advocating for the preservation of the color purple. And yet, on February 12, 1993, the board voted 5-4 to ban the Pulitzer Prize-winning book from the required reading list, although copies would remain in the library. And even though the book was banned from the classroom, something powerful happened. Seeds were planted. And I may not know how those seeds grew and blossomed, but their presence is undeniable. Today, friends, I share this story and these stories with you not just to inspire, but to awaken. Stories are more than memories. They can sometimes be calls to action. And one small seed, one act, and one voice can literally spark a movement and transform lives. I share my story because, friends, we are living in times of moral crisis.
Amen.
We are facing a fascist regime that threatens justice, that threatens our dignity, that threatens our freedom. My stories echo the words of the late Congressman John Lewis. When you see something that is not right, that is not fair, that is not just, say something.
Amen.
Do something.
Amen.
Get into good trouble.
Amen.
Necessary trouble. I share these stories because I am calling on you, each and every one of you, to become seed planters for justice and to carry that hope into the world. To carry that hope into the world and act boldly for what is right. Plant seeds wherever you go and trust that even the smallest act can change the course of history. Amen. Your seeds may look different than your neighbor's seeds, right? Some will be seeds of marching, and some will be seeds of organizing. Some will speak out at school board meetings, write letters, or protest. Others may bring water and food to those who are weary, offer shelter to hide people. Yes. Your seeds may be there to bear witness or to document the truth. Whether you sow your seeds in public or in the quietest places, you've got to know that you are reshaping the future in history. And you are, I'm going to say this again, you are and will be on the right side of history. Can I get an amen? Amen. Ashe, and I am claiming it to be so. And before I go, I like to guide us in a somatic prayer. Things this last week, all the things that keep coming, the things that we see, the things that we hear on the news. I know for me, I'll use I statements, they are landing hard within my body, right? The democracy as we know it is crumbling. We are getting up, we are going to work. We are getting our kids off to school. We are doing the grocery shopping and still balancing the chaos if you will. And so I know for me it's landing deep with anxiety in my body, tension in my shoulders. So I'd like to invite you just to do just a little bit of movement, right? Because we can move that energy through our bodies. We don't want it to get stuck. So I'd like to invite you to get comfortable. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale out. And if you can, take your chin to your chest and move your head down, breathing in. And coming to center, breathing out. Now I'd like you to take your chin and lift it up to the sky, breathing in. And coming center and breathing out. Move your head to the right, breathing in. And come center, breathing out. Let us move our head to the left. And breathing out, just let it out. And it can be a loud exhale. Those shoulders, right, that can hold tension. Just lift them up, hold them really tight, and let them loose. Yep, let's do that again. And tighten up your fist this time, and let it out. And wiggle your fingers. And breathing in. And breathing out. Friends, this is an activity of movement that you can do at any point during the day when the world is too much. Whether you're in your car, or whether you're at work, or you're at home, just find some time during the day, at least once a day, to breathe in and move the energy and anxiety out of your body. This moment I would love to invite the band to come back up for our closing song.
Thank you so much, Yvette. We're going to be doing a new song today, so let us know if you like it.
Feels like the worst year is always a wondering. Haven't heard a hallelujah, but I ain't listening. I looked every direction for a good way to climb out. Maybe my reflection's the only one who can help me now. Little change of weather, it'll make it better. And when it finally does, it'll feel like water in the desert. Yeah, I know tomorrow's gonna come, preaching to a choir of one. It's taking me a while, I'll get there soon. Yeah.
Can you hear me? All right, good. Yeah, that was great. Thank you. Carried through. Please join me as we extinguish our chalice today, and the words are up on the screen. Release this flame from its faithful service. Allow the spark of each of us to burn on, to warm our passion, to fire our light, to light our paths today, tomorrow, and always. As we head out today, I would like to send you off with some more seeds in your pocket. The words of the late Congressman John Lewis said, "Ordinary people with an extraordinary vision can redeem the soul of America." I'm gonna repeat that because that felt really good, right? So ordinary people with extraordinary vision can redeem the vision and the soul of America by getting into what we call good trouble, necessary trouble. And may these seeds that you plant be plentiful. May they be purposeful and filled with love. Amen, Ashe. And you know what? I am claiming it to be so. So please join us for coffee hour, and as the band takes us out, we'll close.